Sweep through this house, from ceiling to floor. Breath of life, move through me. You are all that I am longing for. Breathe in, breathe out, release, allow. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out, release, release, allow, allow. I open the windows, I open the door. Breath of life, carry away all that does not serve me anymore. Sweep through this house, from ceiling to floor. Breath of life, move through me. You are all that I am longing for. I open the windows, I open the door. Breath of life, carry away all that does not serve me anymore. Sweep through this house, from ceiling to floor. Breath of life, move through me. You are all that I am longing for. Breath of life, move through me. You are all that I am longing for.
Beautiful song. You may be seated. We have lighted the Christ candle as part of our connection to the greater unity movement. And as part of our connection to the greater unity movement, we connect and hold individual ministries in prayer each week. This week, we hold all ministries in the state of Arizona. Let us bow in prayer. Divine Spirit, we are so glad we are all together on this beautiful Sunday. We rejoice in our connection with you and with each other. We are all one. It warms our hearts to know that. We are so grateful for your presence with us as we celebrate this special day. Amen. And now, Molly Hall will give us our board minute.
Good morning. You know, when someone asks you why you go to church or why I come to Unity, I say, most of the time people will say, well, it's where I get spiritually fed. But I come to Unity for more than spiritual food. I come for a spiritual community. And I was thinking last year when I was watching the World Day of Prayer ceremonies at home, alone, thinking how nice it would be to be watching this with others, because I just feel this great energy when I walk through the door on Sunday morning. And it was so nice this year when a group of us got together and said, we're going to open up the church for World Day of Prayer. And on that opening ceremony night, when there was music and there was sharing of messages, we had people here in the sanctuary to enjoy it with. And that's really part of what makes this spiritual family important and beneficial to us all. Monday of last week, I had the good fortune of finally starting the Artist Away class. And how lucky we are that Pat Meter taught Doug Brackney how to carry on that tradition. So we still have the benefit of that wonderful book study. And then Wednesday night, I started the Prosperity Plus with Reverend Eliza, and it is, as she tells us, it is going to, I just know it's going to be mind expanding. And I happen to know that both of those classes can be joined in progress this week only, and after that, it's off and running, and it's really have to wait for another cycle of classes. Thursday night, for the first time, I went to the spiritual drumming circle, and oh, what a wonderful experience. It is very, very moving, very meditative. I could literally just close my eyes and just get lost in the rhythm, and it was so cool. And I had an idea, and I asked Dave Long if the group could perform during an event we have planned here next month. And he and the group agreed, so it's like, oh, I'm so excited. Details for that coming soon. This weekend, we have Reverend Eliza. And even if you haven't attended any of the workshops, you are welcome to join us. 10 to 3 on Saturday, and it's part of our transition process, but everything we're doing in these sacred transition workshops can benefit your personal life. And finally, one of my favorite things of all is the book sale. And Linda Cantor and I have talked, and we are bringing back coffee fellowship after church every Sunday in October. So stay for coffee, maybe some snacks, browse the books. Every Sunday in October, we'll have fellowship after service. So please join us and be a part of our spiritual community. Oh, the picnic today. You're going to be fed body and soul today after church.
Thank you, Molly. Good morning, everyone. We are so glad that you are here to join us today for worship, and we extend a very special welcome to those who are visiting for the first time today. On your way in, you should have received a welcome packet, and we also have a gift for you. So please see one of our greeters after today's service. We are also blessed and grateful to have an online following. If you are inspired by Unity of Springfield's message, please be sure to share our Sunday service on social media platforms. Thank you. Unity is a worldwide spiritual movement. We are an inclusive community, and we welcome all people. Coming up this week, as Molly mentioned, our next congregational workshop with Reverend Eliza, The Recipe for Success, and that will be this coming Saturday, September the 24th. When we know our why and our hows are clearly stated, we have a clear map for moving forward. We hope you plan to join us. Lunch will be provided, so please RSVP on the sign-up sheet in the foyer or with the office. Then on Sunday, Reverend Eliza will be giving the message, and there will be time for community connection after the service. Today, stay after the service for a picnic party. We are kicking off the school year and celebrating our youth and family ministry at our fall kickoff event today. Join us as we bless our children and share a picnic-style lunch provided by Unity. Everyone is welcome to enjoy some fun and fellowship. Tomorrow will be the last chance to join in the Artist's Way, a 12-week course on Mondays at 6:30 p.m., facilitated by Doug Brackney. Contact the office or Doug to sign up. Our Silent Unity prayer service, led by Peggy, takes place Tuesday at 11 a.m. in Zoom. This is a space to support with prayer those on our prayer list, on our hearts, and in our community. Wednesday at 5:30 p.m., Karen will lead the gathering meditation via Zoom, creating a sacred space for quiet, introspective meditation. Calling all Uniteens and YOUers. We are starting a local Uniteen and YOU chapter. This is a program specifically designed for connection time, spiritual exploration, and growth for tweens and teens. All youth ages 11 to 18 years are welcome to get involved, so join us for our monthly gathering next Sunday, September the 25th, after the service. Emails are sent out weekly that have information on how to join in events. Also, check out our website for up-to-date information at, and these are all small letters, all run together, unityofspringfieldil.org. unityofspringfieldil.org. Creating our lives and our world through the thoughts and beliefs we hold in mind is a spiritual principle we practice at Unity of Springfield. We also know this truth. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our vision statement together. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement together. We recognize God is love, individualized in all people. Therefore, we provide a positive environment for spiritual growth that empowers all to be God's love in the world. And Mary Disler will read to us today's daily word.
One second here, let me find. Well,
It's under there.
all right,
I think, I'm sorry, I got mine on top of it.
all right. Sorry, folks. The daily word for today, Sunday, September 18th, 2022, is thoughtful. And the affirmation, my kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Today, I bring the love and peace of God to all of my encounters by being thoughtful. More than politeness and deeper than kindness, thoughtfulness means I consider the comfort and happiness of others equal to my own. My intention is to let those in my life know what they mean to me. I may reach out to someone who needs an encouraging word, letting them know they have what it takes to succeed. I may surprise someone with a kind act, anticipating a need and taking care of something for them before they have to ask. Each thoughtful word and act lets those in my life know how important they are to me and how worthy they are of my time and attention. And from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16, do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. And once again, the daily word for today is thoughtful. And can we say the affirmation together? My kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Okay. And I think I have something else to say somewhere. Daily word, daily word, daily word. Sorry, folks, I'm just a little bit discombobulated here today. Okay. Our special music today is by Dave Tell. After the music, Peggy Tell will give the message, ending with a time of meditation.
Thank you, Dave. Oopsie here. I was born in 1936 at my grandparents' home, where I lived with them and my mother. We lived in a white frame house on 20 acres in southwest Iowa. The very first signs of abundance were the loving relationships in that tidy white house. In April 1938, my identical twin brothers were born, Ronald and Donald. And in August 1939, my sister Patricia was born. My father lived there also until I was 5, although he was seldom home. He did not contribute financially, and he was drunk much of the time. When I was 5 years old, my parents divorced. The grown-ups handled the problems quietly, and I was never aware of them. We made really good use of those 20 acres. Grandpa milked cows by hand, and he and I went all over town, early on with me riding in a wicker stroller, while we sold milk and cream. Grandpa had a very loyal following, and the milk money was welcome. More abundance. We also sold eggs to the local grocery store and to next-door neighbors who wanted them. Food was plentiful, and Grandma was an excellent cook. We had a large orchard full of fruit trees. We always had a large, and I mean large, vegetable garden, and all of us helped. We raised rabbits, chickens, ducks, geese, and a hog. I remember feeling very joyful when the boxes of baby chicks arrived in the post office for us, and Mother or Grandpa came to take them home. I had to walk home with them and the baby chicks, you understand, because I was so thrilled they had arrived. We had spent time getting the brooder house ready for the chicks. Everything needed to be scrubbed clean. I loved washing the one big wall of windows because not because I visualized the little chicks enjoying the southern light. It was wonderful to put all the baby chicks in their spotless new home and to care for them daily. I would have loved to have handled them more, but Grandma said no. We had a second chicken house for the hens and roosters. It was my sister's and my job to gather eggs in the morning, but my sister tried to get out of that chore if she could because she always seemed to get pecked. I would watch each hen closely, and most of the time, I could remove the eggs without being pecked. I liked that challenge, so it was not hard for Patricia to convince me to trade for a different chore. We got very creative in providing what was needed. In those days, feed and seed was delivered to the feed store in print sacks. The feed store owner would call Mother and tell her he had a new batch of feed in. And then she and I would walk down to see the new feed sacks and make choices on which ones we would like Mother to make into dresses for Patricia and me. Mother was a wonderful seamstress, and Patricia and I had the most beautiful dresses with full gathered skirts and lovely lace or eyelet or rickrack trim and pretty buttons. We loved our pretty dresses. There was enough money then to buy the boys shirts and jeans, so we were all blessed. We had a large pasture with a small shaded area for hot days. I loved to walk out with Grandpa and our border collie, Poochie, to bring the cattle home to milk. The cows home to milk, I should say. Most of them stayed on the path they had worn, but Poochie would bring the others swiftly in line. Grandpa had 2 workhorses that he used to plow the fields and keep the small corn plants weed-free. I loved walking barefoot beside him when he plowed. I just loved the feel of that loamy dirt between my toes. The loamy soil was so black and rich. We were really blessed with that easy-to-till soil. We had a big, beautiful flower garden, and Mother really loved working in it. She said working in the garden really relaxed her. The garden and books were her 2 special hobbies. Joy is a wonderful blessing. In the fall, we children would go along with Grandpa in the wagon to pick corn that was left behind by the machine. That was fun too, except when it got cold and windy before we got it all picked. then it was not fun. In the small cornfield next to the orchard, Grandpa would shock some corn stalks in the shape of teepees. He would make several of those for us so we could play Native American Indian. We loved that too. There was no shortage of fun things to do when our chores were done. We children really liked to climb trees, and we had a lot of trees. And I often took a book into one of the black walnut trees. I liked to find a safe place to prop myself up, and I would just read and read. We also liked to play in the horse and hay barn when it was raining, or in one of the upstairs rooms of the corn crib that Grandpa made for us. Many of our toys were created by us children because there wasn't money enough to buy many toys, but we never seemed to lack for something to play with. More abundant living. Dinner was always a very hearty meal. Grandma cooked it on a wood stove, and we always said grace. We 4 children would keep our eyes on each other's plates to make sure we were not on the short end of the second helping of chicken. And all 4 of us made sure we cleaned our plates. Except for Sunday evening, we did not have dessert unless it was someone's birthday. We always had a large Sunday meal after church, so at night we had sandwiches and pie or cake or another dessert. Having enough to eat is abundant living, and we always did. In the evening, we children took turns washing and drying the dishes. We didn't dawdle either, because our evenings were a lot of fun. We played games, or worked on jigsaw puzzles, or did some other fun activity. After we got washed up and had our pajamas on, Mother would read to us. She would always read several books, or until we began to get sleepy. Books were very prized in our home, so there was always something fun to read. Living abundantly is cuddling with a loved one on the couch while you're reading books, along with learning and being encouraged in that learning. Having warm clothing in winter is abundance also. One winter, there was no money to buy us girls warm winter coats. On one of his infrequent visits, Mother asked our father if he could buy us winter coats. He had a good job, a nice house. Well, she never dreamed he would bring us corduroy coats lined with cotton. Southwest Iowa was very cold in the winter, and I have never been so cold in all my life. We walked almost a mile to school. Thank goodness my family was able to buy boots, warm mittens, and hats for us. This was my first experience with not living abundantly and warm, and I didn't like it at all. I am so glad that poor children here in Springfield and elsewhere are given coats so they don't have to be cold in winter. Our family made sure we girls had warm winter coats the next year. Being warm is a true blessing. Our schooling was good for the most part, but in the early days I did not feel encouraged, just criticized, and I spent many recesses staying inside to do my work. Not that that helped much. ADHD can create a lot of problems, but that diagnosis was not recognized when I went to school. Several teachers were critical and called me lazy and scatterbrained. Thank goodness I got nothing but encouragement at home. I had spent much of third grade not working hard on schoolwork, but when I got to fourth grade, my teacher took me aside one day and said, "Peggy, I know you can do much better than this. I will help you all I can, but you must work too." She was so kind and loving that I began really trying, and she helped me. And from then on, I was an A student. It is amazing what having a teacher who really cares about you and your progress can do. That was true abundance for me. Love and caring are priceless. Mother, my siblings, and I always went to church each Sunday after Sunday school. After church, my siblings would always run off toward home, and Mother and I would walk home together. I always had questions to ask Mother about something that came up in Sunday school, or something about a friend, or some question I wondered about from the minister's sermon. Mother and I really enjoyed these times together. We both were very curious, and we thought very much alike, so we could talk about issues for a very long time. We also both loved nature. And Mother would come into the house and say, "Children, I have something to show you." And I was usually the only child who went to see what it was. I was never disappointed. She would show me beautiful flowers, for example. She was one of those late night sleepers, and so when she found something interesting in the night sky, she would wake me, and we would both enjoy it. I loved those times. I remember looking at comets and the aurora borealis, other things too. Those were abundant living times for sure. I loved music, and I was really attracted to the piano. One of the music teachers at school taught piano, one of the teachers at school taught piano, and Mother arranged for me to take lessons from her. I took a few and went to the home of Mother's good friend to practice the piano. I had taken lessons only a few months when the teacher asked Mother to come see her. She told both of us that I would never be able to play the piano well because my hands were too small. She didn't think that she should continue to take Mother's money, so she was stopping my lessons. I was absolutely heartbroken. One day, Mother and my siblings and I got to church early, and while Mother was setting up her first grade classroom, I went next door and started fiddling around on the piano. Emma, who played for Sunday school and church, came in and said hi to me. She told me to just go on and play until it was time for Sunday school to start. So I did. After church, she asked if she could speak to Mother. She offered to teach me piano for free because she thought I showed promise. Mother said that was fine, but we didn't have a piano. She was surprised, but she said her brother Willie, who tuned pianos, would keep his eye open for one. Very soon, Willie found one that a family didn't want anymore, and he and several friends brought us an upright piano. I was thrilled beyond belief. I loved playing so much that I practiced every day. My lessons were always well done, and I moved right along. For me, music was abundance, both with the piano and with the voice. And Willie kept my piano tune, too, which was also really nice. In high school, I sang in 2 choirs. I played for 3 small groups and sang in 3 others, and loved every minute of both. I also sang in our church choir. Each fall, the 3 churches in the town practiced and then performed the choral numbers from the Messiah. I loved every group and every performance. For a lover of music, this was absolutely wonderful and definitely an expression of abundance. In 9th grade, I found out that students who did well enough in their studies could get a scholarship to college. I became even more studious, hoping this could happen to me. I knew a scholarship was the only way I would be able to attend colleges. I worked hard and trusted this could happen. When we trust Spirit and are not afraid, good things happen. In 10th grade, I realized for the very first time that many people thought our family was poor. I still didn't feel poor, but we had experienced several years of drought about that time, and although Grandpa always said, "There's always next year," we had some challenges for a few years. We never stopped believing that things would work out again, though, and they always did. However, 2 years in a row, our almost grown chickens were stolen from us. That left us without a large source of food, as well as future egg-laying hens and roosters. The brooder house was behind several trees and a cornfield, so we really didn't think something like this could happen, especially in rural Iowa, but it did. My brothers and I got part-time jobs to help out. Patricia joined the girls' basketball team, so there wasn't much time for her to have a job after school, but she helped out as much as she could. Grandpa and we 3 kids, always went to her games to watch her play. She was a good team player, and the games were always exciting. I was playing French horn in the band, and Patricia played the clarinet. We played in the pep band for football games and boys' basketball games, and I also played for the girls' basketball team. There was such good energy in the gym during basketball games. I just loved it. I graduated from high school as the salutatorian of my class, and I received a scholarship for that. I also received a music scholarship. Then Emma and Willie came forward to tell us they would pay for the rest of my expenses. They were such lovely people. But as Emma said, neither of us was blessed with children, and this gives us an opportunity to help someone succeed in life. I was very blessed to have lived in my family of origin. Grandpa and Grandma had purchased their little house and the land to live in for the present and then to live in for the rest of their lives. They didn't contemplate raising 4 grandchildren. Yet they did it lovingly, never once saying or intimating that raising us was a burden. No, we shared equally in all they had. We lived abundantly because that was the only way my family knew how to live. They believed God would help them when they needed help. They trusted and were not afraid. There is a very old hymn that starts this way: living abundantly, living with power, living the truth every day, every hour. And that, dear friends, is the way it was. Namaste. Would you play a short introduction, Dave? Thank you. I am comfortable with the person I see in the mirror as I begin each day. I am filled with energy and enthusiasm for my work, my recreation, time with family or friends, or time for learning and reflection. My gratitude grows throughout the day as I take part in activities I enjoy and spend time with people I care about. As I get ready for sleep, I am grateful for the blessings of a day well lived. More than money or possessions, prosperity is an awareness of well-being, my ability to enjoy simple blessings. I strengthen my prosperity consciousness as I bless and appreciate my home, my friends and family. I increase the flow of abundance by sharing my time, talents, and treasure in service to others. Abundance is a wondrous blessing. We are so grateful for the abundance in our lives. And we find that it often comes from those around us, from our joyful relationship with Spirit, and from our heartfelt connections with our friends. Unity is truly a place of spiritual connection. Every day, in every way, we are grateful for the blessings we receive. There are so many. A sunny day is a blessing. My little cat friends are a blessing. Dave is a blessing. And my friends here at Unity are another very large blessing. Thank you, loving Spirit. Thank you for all the blessings we enjoy day after day. And so it is. Amen. We have come to the time in our service when we give back a portion of all that we have received. Please either hold your gift in your hand or symbolically hold your gift. Here in the sanctuary, there are glass bowls at each entry. If you are one of our online friends, you may give through credit or debit card or by contacting unityofspringfield.org, all lowercase letters, or you may send a check to Unity of Springfield, 417 Cordelia, Springfield, Illinois, 62703. And now I have to dig for the rest of this. Let me see, where is it? Well, and of course, since I'm looking for it, I can't remember how it goes. Nope. No. First, yes.
I bless my gift with love. We can say it together.
All right, everyone say it together.
I bless my gift with love. I give it in faith, knowing God as my unfailing source and supply. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. All right. Okay, and now let us stand for the prayer of protection. Yeah. Prayer of protection first. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And now our peace song.
Let's go forth in peace and as peace. Together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step